Yeah, I hit the record button. What are you going to do about it? This is our Drunk Cast, episode 3.5. For anybody who hasn't been paying any attention, Jonah is putting on his headphones as we speak. This isn't anything that needs to be rushed. Nothing that needs to be rushed. Oh, let's let it happen organically. But we're having fun. Him and I have just experienced the Shane Mauss show. For anybody who hasn't been around and hasn't experienced Shane Mauss's Good Trip tour throughout this great United States. What is it, an 80 state or 80 city tour now?
80 city tour.
80 city. We're number 37.
We were 37.
37. Minot, North Dakota. And we've just experienced it. We had a lot to drink. Headphones are very complicated at this point.
By we,
no one's judging us.
You mean you.
I mean me.
Yeah.
That I had this experience, not you.
No.
You're above it.
We.
It's something you've already had.
I've scarcely imbibed. My level of imbibement is minuscule compared to yours.
Well, this isn't a competition.
No.
But,
we're not. It's not a
But
measure.
if it were, I win.
What's important is we saw Shane Mauss.
Yes, we did.
And
what a treat.
We had to talk about it here on the Good Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Because he really enlightened our minds. He enlightened our city.
I had so much fun. Look, I haven't seen a live comedian in a long time, let alone one ever, who just spoke my language, for lack of a better term, right down my pipe of certain things that he means to bring to light that are just things that I would choose to speak about, things that have affected my life. The psychedelic experience being number one on that list. And yes, I'll throw that right out there. I'll come way out of the psychedelic closet. Yes, the psychedelic experience has affected my life. It's affected my life in a major way.
Likewise.
It's changed me. It helped me to come out of my own shell and become so much more a complete and healthy human being.
And sadly, the way our society has developed is there's a lot of fear and misinformation,
double standards,
misunderstanding of what the psychedelic experience is.
Yeah.
How do you get there? How do you achieve it?
Right.
When is it right? When is it wrong?
Who's to say?
He did a fantastic job. Excuse me. Some of the things that he enlightened up there on stage to the audience are or were echoes of conversations I feel as if I have had with friends, families, acquaintances in trying
maybe
to...
even yourself.
Maybe myself. But really those particular conversations when I've tried to sort of explain the psychedelic experience.
Yeah, in order to try to relate to someone who's never had such a thing and it has only been exposed to the severe
intoxication
bias that is the quote war on drugs, that the only information that a lot of us have and has ever had on these subjects.
And real quick, guys, we get nothing out of this, but I just have to say, Shane Mauss, it's show 37. He's touring the country right now. It's called The Good Trip. There's 80 cities on the tour. I promise many of our friends and people listening to this podcast right now are in a town or a city where he's coming through. I had no idea who he was 2 weeks ago.
What a treat.
Fantastic
what a
treat. If that...
The dude is funny. He's relatable. Whether you have or have not had the experience, really, at this point, I don't think it matters. He's just so damned relatable and so funny. If you have had the experience, now he's going to strike a lot of chords that will follow along with the experience that you've had. And it's a very, very, very great show. I'll plug it live and direct here and now. Shane Mauss with his podcast. I can't recall the name of it. We'll get around to that. MAPS, MAPS, Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, is co-sponsoring the event. These are the guys, MAPS, who will be the association, or one of the associations that will be kicking down the door of what it means to be involved with the psychedelic reformation, and what it means to engage in these things and understand what they're capable of.
To be clear, MAPS, we definitely are supportive of who they are,
100%.
What they're doing, but that's the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, and what they want to do for you and I, and why this is important, is they feel together we can make psychedelics and marijuana into legally available prescription medicines within our lifetime.
Yes.
And there's no reason that shouldn't be attainable.
None whatsoever.
And
these are tools.
Don't be a progress stopper of that movement.
These are all tools. Are they necessarily party drugs where you take them and have a great time? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. The fact is they're very therapeutic in nature, and it comes down to what McKenna described as a set and setting. An appropriate use, responsible use of psychedelics is critical. If you wish to perhaps enlighten yourself as to how your mind works and certain things about yourself, maybe past traumas, letting go of those, or future anxieties, maybe letting go of those and learning to live here and now with the only thing that you have, which is, again, here and now. These things can help you. Are they a cure-all, end-all? No, absolutely not. Can they help you? Are they a tool? Are they a piece of a overall answer, or an overall I'm at a shortage for words, but an overall treatment maybe for past traumas or future anxieties?
Well, past
Yes.
traumas, that's a good one to highlight. They specifically have referenced research through the use of psychedelics that helps particularly with post-traumatic stress disorder.
That's a very big focus of theirs right now.
Huge focus in that
and they're
movement.
turning over tremendous leaves. Big results in those.
Well, they've used it now. The psychedelics have been used in study for so many social, psychological improvements.
Sure.
And that's really the message that's being sent here. Is it a path to enlightenment? Is that obnoxious to say that it's that? Or
I feel like there's a lot of stigma attached to anything that promises enlightenment. What this is
exactly.
just another tool. It's another tool, and a very powerful tool. When combined with certain sets and settings, again, I go back to set and setting. The set being where you put yourself when you undergo this experience. Are you in a comfortable set?
So
are you free from outside influences that may be undesirable,
detrimental
to you and your path and what it is that you intend to attain from this experience? That's a set.
Listen,
right?
when you start the experience, you don't want the scary clown demon to be there
you
next
want
to you.
nothing
You
to do
gotta
with
you gotta
anything.
let him show up 4 hours later,
Right? At best, if at all.
if at all. He's not always coming. He's not always going
to
be there.
set ourselves into a very comfortable set where you are comfortable and you are assured that you won't be interrupted. Maybe you are home. Maybe you are in a very cozy, comfy place where you know that you're not going to be disrupted or intervened with by knocks on the door or calls on the phone from your mother or from your brother or from any other thing that could make you that could pull you from a very beautiful experience, as you need to give these experiences a lot of respect.
Well, exactly, and I like that you would point that out, because something Shane highlighted in his show, when you are going to embark on that journey, it's not something you're doing on a Friday night and just fucking, you're going out, like, you're planning ahead,
No.
you're organizing toward that, because you don't want those interruptions. You have to have that free flowing,
Right.
uninhibited,
Right.
unattached thing. You don't just
These
the
are-
wrong way to imbibe psychedelics is on a whim on Saturday night after you've drank
You're
11
setting
beers
yourself
and it's
up
yeah.
for a bad experience.
For sure. And that's where people come up with the stigma of a bad trip. That's where the fear of a bad trip comes. That's where a lot of people I know who, I did it once and I had a bad trip.
Right. Well, you probably did it in
Terrible,
a wrong
terrible
set
circumstances.
with a wrong setting. The set is where you find yourself. Are you comfortable or are you uncomfortable? Do you find yourself in, like, for example, a party atmosphere that you've, maybe a house you've never been to, around a bunch of people you've never met before? Oh, let's go ahead and eat a bunch of mushrooms or dose ourselves on LSD. Well, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble at that point. That's the set, right? Now the setting is your mindset, your mind setting. How are you feeling? Are you feeling open to new ideas at the moment?
Well, clearly you are, because you're imbibing LSD or
Are
mushrooms.
you feeling as though you want to explore certain things that are outside of your comfort zone?
Set
Now
goals.
that's not
Should
necessary.
you set goals?
People will imbibe psychedelics without feeling as though they want to entertain ideas that are outside the norm. And there is, again, where we can run into trouble. We need to have this set and setting very well established and very clearly defined before we go about this exploration, as these things deserve and demand our respect.
To put it into terms those who have not made the adventure may, I don't know, I want to say understand better, but
Right.
like
Well, just to help.
whatever you imagine as like your perfect dinner, right?
Sure.
With nobody's fucking with you. There's you're sitting down, whether it's candle lit, everything's laid out. There's no interruptions. There's nothing there. It's like preparing for that perfect dinner.
Yeah,
and
it kind of is.
That's really what it is.
It kinda is.
If we can try to sort of relate that to
It's not just
a common
physical
everyday
set, it's
No.
a mental setting as well. It is.
Correct.
That's a good point. That's a good way to put it.
So you're trying to organize that, and you want to be there and see where it takes you. But with dinner, you know what's on the menu, and
Sure.
similar to if you have a particular goal that you want to achieve within your own mind, just like dinner.
Intention.
Yes, just like dinner, you fucking create the menu.
Have a goal.
Have a goal. Enter your trip with some thoughts in mind about.
Yes.
And it's not always going to go that way, and this is, I guess, maybe it's for.
I can't just write you a prescription that says that if you create this set and this setting with this intent, and you take this dose and this at this time, and you pat your belly and rub your head, that you will have this experience. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. We hopefully one day we'll come up with a more specific definition of what it means to have a good experience. Unfortunately, at this point, we just don't have that.
Well, I'm with Shane Mauss in that there is no such thing as a bad trip.
Excellent point.
There's just maybe
they
a
may-
bad setting for
those
you
things-
to be in a trip.
A difficult experience is much more beneficial for those who are a bit more further along the curve, who may have already had a few ins and outs, and at least the difficult experiences, what could be defined classically as the quote bad trip, can be rolled with, can be dealt with a lot easier by someone who has had experience and who understands that.
Well, that's like with anything. I mean,
Right,
that's kind of a natural thing. I mean, if you know,
I've had difficult experiences. I've never had a bad experience.
yeah, I've had less good, but yeah, I would never
But
classify
every
any of them
less
as
good
bad.
has been explained later by a good one. Like every time it's been shown to me like a lack of connection or a island type experience where I have no connection and I strive for one towards, my fellow humans or the universe itself, where I'm struggling to make that connection. That's been explained later by one where I have this ultimate connection, this
You come full circle.
entirety of connection. It's an experience that transcends just one or more dip into that pool. It's a whole. It's a whole as complete as the one that we have day to day in this reality.
Excuse me, and there really you have it, ladies and gentlemen, coming fresh off the Shane Mauss show here in Minot. Just trying to get a brain dump in there. That this is not necessarily our normal format, but we had the feeling to sort of talk out our thoughts,
Sure.
talk out our feelings a little bit, because when you get that fresh load of perspective poured into your brain like we did tonight.
Let's pour through it.
Right.
Let's try to unpack it and come eye to eye with another who might have different perspective or who may have the same perspective to confirm that what we've been through is maybe a little bit closer to correct than what we've been through previously. This is all about growth. This is all about becoming closer to an ideal.
Well, and I love that when he hit the points of the scale of psychology, right? They were the 5, was it lead me the 5 key pillars of the personality traits.
It was what was it? Openness. You can Google it real quick. I know openness was the last one because openness is the one where psychedelics have shown a clinical and scientifically measurable increase in, but there was.
Okay, here we go. Nope.
There we go.
You don't have to guess. And I loved it, and the scale on which we all land throughout these is incredible. And so it's extroversion, which I'm going to break it down for you. It's characterized by excitability, sociability, talkativeness, assertiveness, high amounts of emotional expressiveness. Okay. Number 2 is
it's pretty beautiful.
Agreeableness. This personality dimension includes attributes such as trust, altruism, kindness, affection, and other pro-social behaviors.
Pretty beautiful.
You're generally going to be more cooperative, while those in low in this trait are competitive and even manipulative.
Gross.
Conscientiousness. Standard features of this dimension include high levels of thoughtfulness, good impulse control, and goal-directed behaviors. Neuroticism, and that's a tough one. That's a
tough one.
This is the one where people struggle with more than others. At least some of the people I have seen that maybe need to phase their way through.
One's ego exists in neuroticism.
That's where that, of course, it is. So neuroticism is a trait characterized by sadness, moodiness, and emotional instability.
Right.
Individuals high in this trait tend to experience mood swings, anxiety, moodiness, irritability, and sadness. Those low in this trait tend to be more stable and emotionally resilient.
Right.
And
so if you're high in that, you just tend to be sort of a cunt.
I love it.
Yeah, I've had a lot to drink.
The last number, the last one, 5, is openness. And this is the big one. This is the one that Shane talks about because this is where
That's the one
psychedelic,
we
the
can measure
psychedelic
it.
tools
We can
will
measure it.
Sure, yeah. This is where it comes in. So,
Science, people.
openness features characteristics such as imagination, insight, and those high in this trait tend to have a broad range of interests. People high in this trait tend to be more adventurous and creative, and are often more people low in this trait,
Right.
often more traditional and may struggle with abstract thinking. Now, before we go any further, I'll let you answer this. What is abstract thinking? For those, not to put you in boy, but so that because they're saying people low in openness,
Right.
They're traditional,
Right.
and they struggle with
They
abstract thinking.
struggle with
Like,
abstract thinking.
What does that mean?
Abstract thinking, as far as I see it, is the ability or the willingness to accept paradigms that explain experiences that you go through in your daily life that are outside of the norm.
Correct. It's thinking about things that are not present in the here and now.
There you go. Right?
And does that, and in some ways I think that would almost tie into empathy.
Definitely.
That ties in with walk a mile in their shoes.
Yes.
That it's so important.
It's critical to growth. If you're unwilling to go there, if you're unwilling to wrap your mind around what someone else might be going through, given their own circumstances, not your circumstances, but their circumstances, then you're going to find yourself very much stuck in the mud.
So to you, what are the benefits of abstract thinking?
The benefits of abstract thinking are growth and understanding new paradigms, just personal growth. Even if it means understanding another person's circumstances, it means applying them to your own circumstances and perhaps coming up with answers that you may not have come up with on your own, given your own paradigm and that which you grew up with or were programmed with from birth. I think that's pretty succinct in
Well, it's critical. So I have actively participated in what I feel is abstract thinking my whole life. I feel like I've been there.
I feel like
it
it's
was
critical to
always
growth.
there for me.
It's almost, it becomes inevitable.
It may have been more limited in obviously in your younger years, but like I said, yeah, there's that you hit that moment
right
where I don't know. I don't want to
becomes
be stuck in
ineffable at a
traditions.
point.
I like traditions, but I don't want to be hindered. But at what point are we hindered by traditions? At what point are the traditions getting in our way? As good as they are, as helpful as they are, I love them.
I feel like anytime
How much greatness has come from breaking tradition
a lot
in this world?
a lot. I feel like anytime you come across a certain person's circumstance where you might not share that same set of experience that took you to a certain point, and yet if you're willing to go outside of your own circumstance and wrap your experience or wrap your mind around their experience in order to understand where it is that they're coming from and understand their plight, in order to help them to rise up and to overcome any set of circumstance, you've just overcome something that was programmed within you, and you've taken a step forward.
Sure, and to be clear, abstract thinking doesn't only apply to walking a mile in somebody's shoes. I mean, it applies to anything.
Sure.
I guess I like to use it in the form of empathy a lot because I want to understand people.
Yes.
I want to know what
That's
makes
a
them
very
tick.
natural feeling for me as well.
Maybe I want to help people who are struggling in
No
whatever
doubt it
way,
goes
shape,
deeper
or form.
than that.
Yeah. Abstract thinking can be.
I'm just so driven to help. Maybe
Yeah,
that is.
no,
Maybe
it is.
that's.
It
just,
is, and that's just to be clear, because
that's as deep as I can go, at least at the current moment, is in understanding and helping to overcome a certain thing that you might be pushed up against. But that's not all.
No, it's being able to see the whole picture,
To really
right?
unlock
Not
yourself.
just seeing, oh, cool, look, there's a picture with a dog in it, or oh, cool, hey, well, wow, look at that picture. I can't believe the wind is blowing the dog's hair, and it's a beautiful tree all around him. And oh, did you notice that weird leaf over there? And I wonder what tree that leaf fell from. And do you think that leaf even fell from the tree above where the dog is standing, or did it blow over from the neighboring forest? That's sort of, applied abstract thinking.
Yeah, there could be 1,000 things going on with that picture. It's all about what do you focus on, I suppose, and how you identify. In particular, you're going to identify with a certain thing that's going on with that picture, probably due to certain things that are happening in your own life. Like there's a lot of that's sort of a Rorschach type deal where I might see a bird flying through the air because I'm going through a episode in my life where I feel grounded or I feel stuck in a certain area, and I wish to see this bird flying through the air. Whereas you might see a snail crawling through the ground because you're going through a period of your life where you feel empathetic in that you have been flying through that air and you feel that you want to rise up and you want to give other people a boost, or you might, how you want to look at that. But we all have our own outlook on just what that Rorschach test of reality is.
Well, and it's not only that we have our own outlook, but we all have different variables that are impacting that outlook.
Absolutely, we do.
And it's that swirl of ideas and inputs that are
so beautiful,
creating the celestial makeup of our soul.
We might have yes or no, 1 or 2 answers in our talk, 5 answers, but these are the situations where there is no 1, 2, yes, no. There's a tremendous gray area. There is and are interpretations to infinitum of however you can look at reality. And that's where a lot of beauty can take place.
And finding those, I think a key to that, to finding those, are breaking the chains of your own underlying personality traits.
It's sort of where we all lie. Like, that's how I can define who you are and who I am, and who this person may be that we're speaking about is lost in gray, but cornerable through abstract ideas that can only be defined through gray areas again.
Yeah, so I'm a big one for number 5 on the big personality traits. If I was gonna I'm sure there's probably some really cool test I could take that would scale me on this. Maybe that would be something we could do for a project.
Apply magic.com. It'll go, if you allow it access to your Facebook. It'll give you your personality profile.
That
in
I want
matter
to take
of
a
seconds.
fucking 100-point exam or something. You tell me I can just plug my Facebook into some asshole website and then it's going to assess my scale on the 5 dimensions of personality?
This gentleman that we went.
Is that what Shane uses?
Shane Mauss
Really?
was a pretty big advocate
Of that particular one?
on the Duncan Trussell podcast that I was listening to earlier this evening.
Oh, good reference. Okay.
Let's see.
We need to do that.
ApplyMagicSauce.com. I'm going to do it to myself right now. ApplyMagicSauce.com.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm going to go predict my profile. Prediction from Facebook, blah, 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 blah,
And real
blah.
quick, while he's doing that, ApplyMagicSauce.com. This is from the University of Cambridge, the Psychometric Center.
Yeah, these guys are no joke.
Yeah, it's a personalization engine that accurately predicts psychological traits from digital footprints
doing
of
mine
human
right
behavior.
now, as we speak.
I have to do mine now.
Freaking Cambridge University.
And they're on the internet. How could that be wrong?
Wow, those are two very
it's happening right now.
Positive and affirmative things.
I am logging into this. They said 102 of your Facebook likes were used to generate this prediction.
It says that I'm 97% masculine.
I'm only 93. Fuck.
So I'm probably more man than you.
Clearly. The internet.
I don't know that is a direct correlation to size or girth. I don't know.
The internet has factually revealed you are 4% more masculine than me.
I don't know if that has anything to do with length or girth. I really don't have any idea. It's not up to me, is it? Openness, as far as this can tell, I'm average. 50%.
Oh, you suck. Really?
No, average is 50. I'm 38%.
You're below average.
I tend to be conservative and traditional.
What? Gross.
I'm offended.
What are you
myself.
doing here?
I should probably go.
Sit in the corner. To bring your microphone over there to the fucking corner, right beneath the Nick DeFabio Kylo Ren, because you're.
I think you're right in banishing me.
We're done with you.
To the corner.
Rub, guys. We just lost Chris Rubb. He's it. This
Conscientiousness, impulsive and spontaneity, 45%. You know what? I'm gonna.
Are we? Is the bullshit?
It's
bullshit
going
alarm
off.
going off?
It really is. I'm raising a lot of red flags here.
You're funny.
Agreeableness, 100%. Oh no, I'm sorry, 10%. I'm very competitive.
What are you doing? Can you read yours over there? You better
I've had a lot to drink.
Hand that over to me. Let me fucking break it down. Here.
Agreeableness.
Get your laptop in here next time, you racy bastard. Let's see what Rob said. He can't read his own personality test.
I've had a lot to drink.
No, you haven't. It's fine. No, he's had a little.
More than a...
No, so extroversion, you're right in the middle. So what this does is that the gauge is in the middle at 50%.
Right.
And you either fall above that line more toward one way or the other. So like the way this breaks it down when you're looking at it, openness on one side, okay, conservative and traditional, or on the other side, liberal and artistic. Rub, according to these guys and his Facebook interactions, he's more conservative and traditional, according to this.
I guess.
Now, conscientiousness is really close. So you're at 45%, which means you are only 6% away from actually being qualified as organized and hardworking, whereas this has you as impulsive and spontaneous, like some little asshole. I'm just kidding, spontaneous people. We love you. We need you. You're important.
We do need spontaneity and impulsiveness.
But not when it comes with your demands.
But
terrorist.
Is it at the expense of like openness and willingness to accept new ideals? Then fuck you.
And you're right there too. Extroversion at 48%, which contemplative is what it says.
I work really hard.
The other side of that would be that you are engaged with the outside world. You're only 3% from being considered engaged with the outside world.
I don't know how to take that.
Drink more Starbucks.
More Starbucks, I say.
Agreeableness. You are not agreeable. You are competitive. You are not. He's got 10%. The other side of this is teamworking and trusting. He is 90% away from that. Okay?
90%
away from teamworking and trusting.
I cannot be trusted is what you're trying to tell me?
I don't know. No, that
or
not.
I cannot trust others.
You are competitive, which means you want to challenge people's ideas. I think.
Don't feel like I'm that though.
And
I think I'm gonna go ahead.
Neuroticism.
I'm gonna proclaim kangaroo court on this entire proceeding. I think this is bullshit.
Well, no, it goes a little further, and when you scroll down, so it breaks down. I'm going to read you guys.
You're going to go further.
I'm going to go further
Kangaroo Court.
into kicking Rub in the nuts
you've
of being
well
a terrible
so
human
far.
being. Clearly, he is nothing that we've built him up in these first 3 episodes, according to Cambridge University. What you better put that into your next pocket of research with your tools, sir. No, we love him, and
I'm being embarrassed.
I'm being embarrassed. There's no such thing. Conscientiousness concerns the way in which we control, regulate, and direct our impulses.
If it's not 100%, then I will fight someone.
People with your likes are random and fun to be around, but can also plan and persist when life requires it. It appears that depending on the situation, you can make quick decisions or deliberate for longer if necessary.
So it seems like
that seems pretty
I've got
good.
a bit of balance then.
That seems pretty good.
Right?
Right?
I only strive for balance.
Well, when you just look at the numbers, it might not sound as good, but when you so let's go to the next one. Let's see what else it has to say.
Right.
Agreeableness reflects individual differences in concern with cooperation and social harmony. People with your likes are willing to make difficult decisions when necessary, and will point out when something is wrong, no matter what other people might feel. You might say that you can be tough and uncompromising. I don't know about that last part about you in terms of like.
I don't feel like that's me at all.
I don't think you're the one to like call people out on their bullshit all the time.
No, not really.
You will if they want you to. If you are asked, you will. Will you not?
I suppose.
I don't think you offer.
I'm really like the uncontrarian type of guy. Like, I'm willing to just sort of like go along with your shit in order to get you to shut up. Like, really, that being said, like, if you've got this thing to say and I don't really agree with you, I'm willing to just sort of like nod my head until you stop talking. Like, I'm sort of that guy.
Here, and I think openness is where, for whatever strange fucking reason, you must have some old, deep, dark shit hiding out.
Does it say I'm not open?
Your Facebook. It does. So here's what it says. Okay, people with your likes dislike needless complexity and prefer the familiar over the unusual. You might say that you are more conservative than many.
Oh my God.
But not to an extreme level, and that you value practical outcomes over flighty imagination.
I am the flighty imagination guy. I'm offended by this. I really feel like
that's hilarious. I'm so glad we did this project and the podcast tonight.
I think this website boned me, man. Like I really do.
Like Shane Mauss set you up for disaster.
I think
Duncan Trussell and his. How did Duncan feel about this?
I want.
Did they do it?
To come here and apologize for his horse shit website.
Okay, so here's mine.
Yeah, let's hear yours. With
now,
your dumb self.
I am terrible. Clearly.
We already knew that.
That's why we're here. So we broke down Rub's. We'll break down mine. The average being 50%.
The truth will come out, people.
For openness, I'm at 71%. So I lean
good,
heavily.
Though.
Yeah, I think so. I lean heavily liberal and artistic.
I'm winning. Did he just start with something good?
Over right
did
there.
He just start with something good to?
No, we start from the top down, just like we did with you. This is
and what was I?
Fair.
Do you remember what I was?
In the interest of fairness,
50. You were at 70.
No, on your opening one up here, you were at like 23%.
23 openness.
Okay, so
I'm offended by myself right now.
Conscientiousness.
I think I need sensitivity training.
Go back inside, We're fighting.
We're fighting. I need sensitivity training.
It's an Aqua Teen Hunger Force once again. We love the Moonanites, and we're gonna throw that shit in there. And I don't know. We had a friend that wanted us to point out when we're doing it.
I am more open than 23%. Damn it.
Now, are you more open than 23%, like 60% of the time, all the time?
That's a lot of numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't crunch
that.
I've
had a lot to drink.
Okay. Now, in the interest of fairness, let's hear it out here. Now, I had You are more, this is for me, you are more impulsive and spontaneous than 77% of the population.
You are?
That's what it says about me. I am more impulsive and spontaneous. No, that's the same for you, though. You were over on this side.
That's what I wanted to be.
Yeah, no, you were over on this side. It's better when you do it on the computer because I can hover my mouse over this and then it breaks me down. So,
see, well...
Now, contemplative.
You've got some
you are more
computations going on.
Some of these were
over
better
there.
for you, I think. You are more
we'll
contemplative
see,
than
won't we?
61% of the world.
Well, I'm
I
definitely
landed
not.
at 39%.
I'm definitely
Competitive. You are more competitive than 69%
I
of
don't
the
want
population.
to be competitive.
This is me.
Though. Well, I don't.
You are.
Well, I don't though.
You're intellectually competitive.
I'm no better than you.
I think that you.
I'm no better than anyone.
Competitiveness is not getting a gold medal at the end of a race. Careful over there. Settle down. You're gonna spill. Laid back, neuroticism. Okay, 8%. I love. This is perfect. I think this is perfect for me. Dudism right here. You are more laid back and relaxed than 92% of the population. That's what, according to this personality twist. Now let's go down.
I'm happy for you.
I think, dude, we didn't get these analyzations of yours. If you weren't dumb and using your cell phone and you had your laptop in here, you'd get the better breakdown. And I wouldn't have had to read it off your stupid phone for you like a child who isn't open to the world.
Like a dumb child.
Like a dumb child. Like a dumb...
How dare I?
Dumb kindergarten baby. Stick your head in gravy.
How dare I?
So according to this, people with my likes are intellectually curious and appreciative of what they consider beautiful, no matter what others think.
I think you are far more ugly a personality than that.
You might say that your imagination is vivid and makes you more creative than many others. I love that. I think that's fucking boom. Winning this.
I think this website is giving you a big head, and I think that you need a reality check.
I am in the Big Head Clan in the secret.
I think you need a reality check.
My people,
post haste.
My people fought Hoover in Executive Order 96.
Listen to this son of a bitch. My people.
Tiny head weirdo.
He says my people.
My people.
Oh, my fucking people. Yeah.
The Big Head Clan.
He's got big fucking head.
Giant.
Dummy.
How do I carry it around? People with my likes.
Carry it around carefully because you might tip over.
Now, conscientiousness concerns the way in which we control, regulate, and direct our impulses. People with my likes are spontaneous and fun. You like to do unexpected things that make life that much more interesting. You might say that you aren't completely unreliable, but you've been known to slip up on occasion. In the extroversion realm, people with my likes are similar to people who prefer low-key social occasions with a few close friends. You might say that it's not that you are afraid of large parties; they're just not that fun for you. That's 100% accurate. From fucking now, not that I can't.
This is a kangaroo court, people. What we're experiencing here is pure bullshit. I'll stand on my because I've been hosed.
I don't think we got to read yours right. We're going to revisit Chris Rubb's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think you did it from your phone, and I think your phone fucked you.
Somehow Chrome on Android fucked me as per Chrome on PC. You're running Chrome, no doubt.
So
because Chrome is superior to everything.
I love Chrome, and agreeableness reflects individual differences in concern with cooperation and social harmony. And as I don't know, as I read this one,
I am way a better person than Jonah is.
No, we're both amazing. You're amazing, and I love you.
But I'm better than you.
And people with my likes can find it difficult to get along with others when they first meet them.
The likes are his.
You might be suspicious of others' motives in this situation.
Oh, okay.
Your likes suggest that over time, people
he's got it all figured out,
and
people.
you to them.
Jonah Lanto.
Hey, motherfucker.
He's got it all figured out.
I'm reading this down as we read your shitty one.
He's got it all figured out, people.
Just because yours was shitty and it was a gray clouds that pooped acid rain on humanity, don't come in here and rain on my parade of awesomeness.
Don't come in.
Hey,
on
psychology is trumpeting me right here.
Parade.
Your browser parade.
And tell me that I'm some sort of piece of shit.
That's the big draw away from this impromptu
I'm upset, goddammit.
Podcast. Is Rub a piece of shit? Did we prove that on here? No.
There's your Good Talk 5 wrapped up into one.
Wrapped
Is
up
Rub
into
a
one.
piece of
Like,
shit
and I love it that we, in a way, we still got our Good Talk 5 because we broke down the 5 key personality traits of what makes Jonah awesome and how he wins.
Rub a piece of shit.
Is Rub a tiny head piece of shit that we need to squish? Squish.
I guess it's up to you.
We're gonna wrap this up. Last piece. We're gonna end on a high note. Neuroticism. In reflection of me right here. Now, neuroticism refers to the tendency to experience negative emotions. Now, that's it's a big one.
Gross.
People with my likes.
Oh, with his likes.
Are
Jonah fucking Lantos likes. His fucking likes. Like they're nobody else's likes, just his.
They're mine.
Ugh.
Nobody else is getting credit.
You should
for
see
this
the
one.
size of his head from my vantage point. It's ginormous.
Did it fall over my chair yet?
It grew.
Did it fall?
I saw you adjust your headphones to the larger head that you experienced.
I had to adjust my headphones throughout this.
And I synced it.
This examination that Rub so desired. I wanted no part of this. I got fucking drug in here.
I hit the record button way before he was ready.
Rub just smashed the record button like I was a cool fish hanging out, like eating some fucking. And he hooked me. He hooked me in.
What's his name show? Oh, what a treat!
Are you going? What's his name show now? Is that where we're at?
A lot to drink, Jonah.
No, we're not. There's no what's his name show. There's no excuse for that. He was
so good.
Shane Mauss. Shane Mauss.
What a treat.
Fucking awesome.
Damn, he was good.
In closing,
if anyone has an opportunity
to see Shane Mauss,
do it.
He has only done 37 dates counting tonight.
37.
Out of 80.
Out of 80. What a treat.
I'm not going to ask you to do the math because I know you can't right now.
It's like
how many shows
22.
are left? How many shows are left?
Who cares?
Go see him, folks. He's coming out there.
He's talking mad shit with his big dumb head.
According to applemagicsauce.com.
Apple Magic Sauce.
Apple Magic Sauce. That's not at all where we're at.
We never have any fun on this podcast unless you have
applymagicsauce.com. And people with my likes are difficult to upset or stress out since you rarely, if ever, react with negative emotions, and even when you are anxious about something, the feeling quickly passes. Based on your likes, you come across as very calm and resilient.
That is very much you. Because I love you.
And I love you. And that was our Shane Mauss brain dump. There you have it, folks. This is
Shane Mauss
Show podcast. Brain
Take it
dump.
as you will.
For what it's worth.
That was fun.
We had to slam this one out there. Hit us up at the Good Talk 5. Let us know how you're feeling. Find Shane Mauss, seek out new information, and embrace psychedelics.
Dude, he's so good.
We love you.
Go see him.
It's good talk.
Good fucking talk.